Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton. How are you all doing today? I'm doing great. My teeth look nice and white. I went to the dentist, got my teeth cleaned. Um, and today was a day that I was catching up on all my soaps. Yesterday was awful in terms of technology. Like my phone like totally froze. Like the touch screen totally froze, did not work at all. It was awful. Um, but I got it to work today, and I just started clearing shit out because I've got to get ready for when I get my new phone um, on Wednesday night. So the Sprint store closes at 8, so hopefully I'll be able to get in before they close so that they can turn on my new phone. But we'll see what happens. But I have to say that I have been watching um, the this show, this reality show on. I've been watching it online because it was a British reality show that never made it over here. But it tells the story of Steps and how they were broken up, right? And I have my own story about Steps, but I'll tell my story about Steps in a second. But the Steps, first of all, if you don't know who Steps are, Steps were basically a modern day ABBA, right? They didn't really hit here just like ABBA, but they were huge everywhere else, right? They had a couple hit songs here, but they were huge. And and their songs were upliftingly melancholy, just like ABBA's songs were. And I could tell that there was some tension underneath, but we didn't really know what. Well, when we watched this show, we found out what. People were pissed. There was a lot of infighting in Steps. It was a little crazy. But they had a reality show where they're trying to get the band back together and to talk about this stuff that happened 10 years later. So this is actually an old show, but I'm watching the whole thing on YouTube. So it's great. I love it. I love it. I love Steps, and I love their music. I was one of okay. So here's my Step story. So I won that whole Britney Spears lookalike contest, and I was backstage at Britney's concert or whatever. And one of Britney's opening acts was Steps. Now, most people in America did not know who Steps were. They had one song on some Pride compilation, but other than that, most people didn't really know who they were. However, I knew them from Japan, from when I lived in Japan. I used to wear the shit out of that CD over and over again, that Step 1 CD. I swear to God, it was my jam. I mean, they really were the new ABBA. They were great. Um, and how fierce would it be if they did a show like this with ABBA, where they have all four of ABBA sitting around talking about, their issues that they had back in the day. And that would I mean, that is television gold right there. Or even the A-Teens. The A-Teens broke up too. That I think that would kind of be interesting as well. But I digress. The Steps reunion show is incredible. I love it, and I cannot wait to watch more of it. I'm very excited. Oh, wait, one more thing. So they had this thing. This is what got me watching this Steps thing, is because I was already on YouTube, because they had this thing called Broadway Loves Britney, and they have all these people from all these Broadway shows singing Britney Spears songs. It was fucking incredible. It was awesome. It was awesome. I could name like specific performances that were like outstanding, but like everyone was so good. Everybody brought their A game. It was incredible. I loved it. I'm just jealous I was not a part of it, because there were a lot of Britney songs that were not done, but there were so many that were, I'm very appreciative of the choices that they made. Sometimes I love that song that was chosen. Lucky was chosen. Toxic was chosen. It was just incredible. I really love that show. It was really great. That was my day yesterday, and then today has been all about Steps. So this week, well, I'll talk more about myself on the next video. So General Hospital, this is what we're doing right now. We're doing General Hospital. General Hospital last week was a little bit, they kind of slowly started working in the older characters into the new storylines. But one thing that they tried that they didn't really succeed on was juxtaposing Morgan's funeral with Hayden's, septic shock. And Dr. Finn trying to revive Hayden. I mean, that didn't make a lot of sense. Like, it would have made more sense if, like, they showed somebody giving birth juxtaposed with Morgan's funeral. Then that would have been a lot better, because then it would have been yin and yang, right? But, death and death is not, that's not the best. And I will have to say that I am slightly disappointed with Morgan's funeral, because it was nowhere, it did not pack as near as much gravitas as Sabrina's funeral. Sabrina's funeral let you have it. It was incredible. It was great. Morgan's funeral was just kind of Now, granted, at the end, Sonny came out with the gun and said that he's the reason why Morgan's in that. He's dead and blah, 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 but it wasn't that dramatic. It wasn't as dramatic as he was planning it out to be, or the writers were planning it out to be. It was very kind of boring. And then we also saw that Valentine Cassadine had started his claim to Charlotte. So we found out, because Claudette apparently got on a plane to Calgary and somehow disappeared after that. So we don't know if she got off the plane. We don't know if she actually took the plane. We don't know what happened to her. So Griffin is, of course, really pissed off at Valentine, and he got Anna to help him get custody of Charlotte. So good for him. Good for Anna. Do I think it's going to work out for either one of them? Not so much. And Nell has still been around. She's still been assisting Carly, and she's been kind of like a sounding board for Michael. She's been very good to Michael, so I think that's great. Let's see what else has been happening in General Hospital. In terms of, Tracy Quartermaine and Monica have reopened the hospital. And so slowly but surely people are starting to come back. So that's good. That's very good that they couldn't get rid of General Hospital for long. And then there's Curtis and Valerie broke up because Valerie caught Curtis taking pictures of GCPD files, and she cannot be having that. So bye, Curtis. Bye, girl, bye. And, it is what it is. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So, I'm trying to think. Oh, and then Laura came back. And, Elizabeth and Franco were having issues. And Elizabeth said something that kind of stuck in Franco's craw. And she said, that she would feel safer if she was with Jason. You don't want to say that around Franco, because Franco already, I don't know why, but Franco already has this weird, thing with Jason. So that kind of pissed him off. We'll see more about that next week. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you so much for logging on to my post. I enjoy it. I love it. I miss you. Feel free to contact me on Twitter at Angel Benton. #GH if you want to talk General Hospital. Not tomorrow. As soon as I'm done. Maybe tonight I'll be doing Vanderpump Rules. And then Bold and Beautiful. And then Dancing for Relevancy. Then Days of Our Lives. No, then Below Deck, and then Days of Our Lives. Okay, so take care, everyone. Have a great day. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.